Everybody, this is Becky Browning with Wallflower Greetings. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm so excited. If you saw my previous post, my husband and my little dog, my little family, we're back together. They've been gone for almost 2 months, and so I'm really glad to have them back home for a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to post one more video in my online crafting party, and then I'm going to follow up with a poll and maybe 1 or 2 more videos from Stampin' Up! Regarding the holiday catalog. So I have 2 cards here that I showed you at the beginning of the day, and I don't have time to go through how to make them in their entirety, but I'm going to give a few little pointers and just talk about some of the products used in them. At some time in the future, I will be making videos for both of these. Alright, so let's start with the first one here. This one doesn't have a whole lot of layers. This is a card that is made with a thick Whisper White cardstock base, and it is portrait, and you have a smaller layer of Berry Burst cardstock, and then on top of that another layer of patterned designer series paper. This is Berry Burst with a little white pattern going through it. It kind of looks like, I don't know, little diamonds, or well, actually they're kind of oval shaped with a little pattern in between. So this actually comes from the Fresh Florals designer series paper stack, and our paper in the annual catalog begins on page 187. And on the first page here of that series of paper is the Fresh Florals Designer Series paper stack. And it is great. You get 40 sheets, 4 each of 2 double-sided designs in 5 colors. And these are 12 by 12. So you get all these colors. So everyone has a floral side and then a pattern side. And this is great because you can make a lot of stuff with this. This goes a long ways. It's one of my favorites in the catalog, and I use it a lot. It features our in colors for 2017, 2019. So these are our new in colors in this catalog. You have Berry Burst, Fresh Fig. So there's the Berry Burst. Then Fresh Fig is a little darker berry fig color. You have Lemon Lime Twist, which reminds me of the 80s. It's like a lime green color that, like a neon color that you would see in the 80s. And it's back. It's very popular, actually. If you look around, these colors were designed based on research of what is in trend. That's why they're called in colors. The next one we have is Powder Pink, which is a really nice subtle pink. Tranquil Tide, I love this color. It's a blue-green color. And then we also have, throughout all the patterns, have Whisper White as their contrasting pattern color. So this is a very versatile paper stack, and it's a great way to start out. If you don't have a lot of paper but you want something with color, this is a great way to start. Okay, so with this card, it uses a couple of punches. It uses the Pansy punch, which we've had for a couple of years. And it uses a new punch called the Pretty Label punch. And so I want to show you that real quick. What I did with this punch for the Pretty Label is I punched out a white piece, and I did my sentiment stamped on top of that. And then I took and punched out the same shape, that Pretty Label, with gold glimmer paper. And then what I did is I took scissors and just cut it in half. And I just layered it so that a little bit was peeking out both the top and the bottom of that label. So that's what I did with that. And then I put that on the top layer of my designer series paper with dimensionals. The flower, I cut out 2 flowers. So you're going to need 2 of the pansy flowers, and I just put them together and offset them a little bit. Okay. Then I took the 1/2 inch punch and punched out a piece of cardstock for a contrast for the center, and that is in Lemon Lime Twist. For the leaves, I also used Lemon Lime Twist, and I cut out the same pansy punch in the Lemon Lime Twist, and I just cut off a couple of the petals and then placed it behind the flower for the leaves. So this is really a lot of fun. It's pretty easy. It has a lot of little pieces, but it comes together rather quickly. So that is that card. The next one I'm going to show you uses the new Daisy punch, and this is very, very popular right now. In fact, we have ran out of supply like at least 3 times, and they've been on back order. So they're back again. The punches go really fast, and this paper behind it, which is Designer Series paper, is also very popular. This is Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper. Let me show you that in the catalog as well. So that is, oops, on the next page in this grouping of paper. Let me find it. Aha. So there it is, Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper. Now this one has 12 sheets, 2 of each 6 double-sided designs, and they're 12 by 12. That's on page 189. So these are really, really pretty. And I don't know if you can hear it, but my dog is playing in the background. She's excited to be home, I think. All right, so what I did for this card is I have several layers. Let me get it out of the envelope here. It is also on thick Whisper White cardstock. And then I had a layer of basic gray, which is kind of a dark gray. And I cut it to cover the whole card front. The next layer is 1/4 of an inch thinner, and it is Whisper White, so that's on top. Then the next layer is a square, and I'll give you all the dimensions, and I'll post all those. I think this is 4 by 4 maybe, or 3.5 by 3.5. But I just did a square of the basic gray. And what I did is I adhered it to the white card front, and I tilted it a little bit so it's at an angle. And then I have the piece of Designer Series paper. I cut it a little bit smaller in a square, and I also put it at an angle on top of the basic gray. So I just adhered all that down. I stamped my sentiment in the bottom corner, and then I cut out 3 of the flowers. So the daisies look like this. I can pick it up. I can hardly get a hold of it. There we go. So the daisies look like this, and I think they're really cute just by themselves. So you could definitely do a real simple basic card with just one of these. But I decided I wanted some dimension and some fullness, so I cut out 3. And then what I did is I took a Daffodil Delight marker and colored in the centers, and then went up the petals just a little ways, and I did that on all 3, and then I layered them together, offsetting them so that they would look kind of full. I adhered them using, you could use glue dots, but I find that to not be, it kind of moves around a little bit, so you could either use snail, or you could use Tombow liquid glue, and glue those together, and then I glued the whole thing onto the card using a dimensional. Then I just took my fingers and just kind of curled up the petals a little bit to give it a little bit more dimension. And that's how you make that card. And like I said, I will be doing tutorials on how to make both of these in the near future. Well, that's all for today. That's my last video of the day, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I will talk to you soon. I'll be posting a few more goodies, including another poll, and I will be announcing who the winner is and what they won, and pardon me, a couple more videos from Stampin' Up. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you always. Take care.